Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Greetings everybody guys, today we'll take a look at the Canadian dollar. So yesterday we said in the weekly research that makes sense to take a look at something else, not in the gold market. As a Canadian dollar and Japanese yen right now shows very interesting setups. So Japanese yen we have discussed last week, and it seems that the downward action that we have talked about has started, but it has started a bit later. So not in the point where that we have discussed, that was just perfect reversal point, but yen has climbed slightly higher and then turns down. And the Canadian dollar situation is also changing because the background is changing, fundamental background. So mostly it stands around the crude oil price. It's a seasonal trend, and you know that recently have been some hints on the possible easing of the limits on the OPEC countries that have the limits on extraction, and that limits could be eased in the nearest future. Also, as you know, Vladimir Putin has said in the St. Petersburg Economic Forum that he totally satisfied with the $60 per barrel, and that makes the impact on the crude oil prices. They have shown significant drop, but even technically, the crude oil prices should show some retracement because our major ABCD pattern with the $75 target has been completed. If you'll take a look at the crude oil chart on the monthly chart, here's our ABCD pattern has been completed. Now market stands in the wide confidence resistance there on the monthly chart. This really big resistance. On the weekly chart, guys, you could see the market has formed bearish reversal swing here. So it's also important. It suggests some, at least with a few weeks, downward action. So all this stuff makes impact on the Canadian dollar, and that is beyond the other problems with the North Atlantic trade agreement. As you know, with the also some questions stands around Bank of Canada interest rate policy. So some economists think that no rate increase in July will happen. Others think that they should keep the policy in a row with the Fed, keeping the smallest gap as they can with the interest rates, and that's why the interest rate could be raised. So this makes impact on Canadian dollar, and you can see that scenario is gradually changing. The sentiment on the market is changing. If you would like to know the perspective of the longer term situation on the Canadian dollar, you could keep an eye on monthly and weekly chart, read our analysis, but in video we will focus only on the setups that we will be watching on the common week. So here, guys, on the daily Canadian dollar trend stands bullish. We have two different extensions. So first, our initial extension that we have talked about even a month ago, this A, B, C, bottom, XOP target that has not been reached. And if you remember, previously we have talked about this XOP, and we said this is not good sign, guys, that market could turn down before hitting of the XOP. It means that sometime later market could turn back and hit the XOP target. So this is target, and it's still valid, stands 131.60. Also we have minor pattern A, B, C bottom with the COP at 130.15 approximately, OP 131.95. So you can see OP from this pattern stands very close to the XOP from the initial pattern. That will be the destination point on the daily chart for a few weeks. Meantime, as you can see, we have the daily overbought at 130.40 approximately, and it means that this target is not interesting for us in the common week because hardly it will be reached, only if some extraordinary thing will happen. But if things will stand in a common direction, that probably will be kind of the sale for common week, because this is overbought, guys, and in the daily chart and market will have definitely the barrier to pass through it. That's why in the beginning of the week and in general on the common week, we mostly will be watching for this target. So that's the area that we will be watching for. This will be the destination point for common week. Also, another important moment here is take a look, guys, this natural support resistance area. This market has passed through it. This was real strong resistance. Market has passed through it right now, and it makes this area relatively free and open for the price action here. It's a very important moment. On the 4-hour time frame chart, guys, we have another patterns that point approximately the same area within 130.15 area. So take a look. We have potentially the butterfly buy pattern, butterfly sell with 127 extension and 130.70, and inner ABC bottom pattern with the XOP target 130.60. So that's the destination point that agrees mostly with the daily target. With this ABCD pattern, market already has passed through the OP target. The OP was right here and has been passed. It means that market could proceed higher with no significant barriers, and those of you who are certain chance to go long, you could keep an eye on the hourly chart. On the hourly chart, we have even smaller ABCD. Actually, it stands here. This one, ABCD, on the slope of the wing of the butterfly. So, and with this ABCD, market stands very close to the OP. Once OP will be hit, it stands approximately 129.96, 130. Some retracement could happen. In this case, you could keep an eye on these fib levels, two fib levels that stands very close to the weekly pivot point. It's 128.86, so approximately 129, confidence support, and this minor fib level. Keep an eye on the possible retracement. If market will form a kind of the ABCD pattern down, that could give it regardless triple to buy pattern, and that will be the opportunity to take the long position with the destination point of these targets on the 4-hour time frame chart. That's trading plan, guys, for the coming week. That's what we'll be watching for. But in the further perspective, Canadian dollar brings a lot of different targets. As if you read the weekly research, you will see that actually we have the sequence of the targets. But on the next week, we will be watching for this one, and within the couple of weeks, we probably will be watching for 132 as well.